Hello and welcome to Kate O Show. I'm the best-selling author of the book Triumph in the Midst of Adversity, a life coach and a strategic consultant. And I'm Kate Uregu, the host of Kate O Show. How are you doing, guys? I'm here again one time for you to hear another fantastic topic, why Africans are left behind. If you're watching this show and you're from Africa or you have friends from Africa, please, we want to hear what you think. Subscribe to Kate O Show on YouTube, and we want to hear from you. Leave your comments below, because I believe that we as Africans, we have been left behind one way or the other, and the why behind that you're going to hear on this show. So, I'm an African woman living in the UK, and especially Africans in diaspora precisely. Africans, we are left behind because we as Africans, we don't really support ourselves. And why don't we support ourselves? I believe we don't support ourselves because, one, we fail to acknowledge and to love who we are. Take us for who we are. That's number one. Because if you're an African woman, you need to love yourself. You need to love who you are. Appreciate yourself. Don't, feel, like you want to be someone else, or you don't really appreciate your features, because you are beautiful and you are lovely. So I believe it has to start from there. You need to first of all love yourself. So we must love who we are. So from that step, when you love yourself, then you can learn how to appreciate others. So why are we left behind? We can see that we've been left behind because the African, entrepreneurs in the UK, for instance, let me start from there. We can see that we are not really supporting one another. I'm an African. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a life coach, and I'm a strategic consultant. And there are people out there who have beautiful careers in what they're doing, but do we actually patronize ourselves? Why are we not patronizing ourselves? Why are we not supporting ourselves? Some will say it's jealousy, some will say it's envy, some will say it's because we do not really trust ourselves. But whatever your reason may be, I believe that we must, figure out what the root cause is, resolve it, and move forward. Because we can't remain like this. Other nations have moved ahead. They forge ahead, like the Asians, for instance, the Indian precisely, which I like to use all the time as an example. They work together, they love themselves, and they're supporting themselves, and they have moved forward, guys. Why are we left behind? If we continue blaming and talking about the problem, and we are not sorting for solution, what do you think is going to happen, guys? We're going to remain the same. And I don't want us to remain the same. We want change. Do you want change? If you want change, then please leave your comment below this video and tell us what you think. We need to love ourselves, number one, and we need to appreciate one another. If your fellow African brother, sister is into a business, into anything they are doing, love to support them. If you love it, before you become competitive, before you think about sorting your own to copy that person doing what they are doing, what you need to do first is to support them. I believe you should start from there. Then when you support them, when you do yours, you can ask for support as well. That is what we should do. We need to learn how to buy from each other. We need to learn how to, pay for services from each other. Because it's your fellow brother doesn't mean it has to be free. You can rent services from your fellow brother. You can buy their products. And when you do that, you are helping Africans back home in Africa as well. Because we are complaining of the mess in Africa. But you in diaspora, do you know your action can be one of the major problems why people back home in Africa are suffering? Because look at it this way. If you don't patronize a fellow African here in the UK, and they're not doing well, thriving in their business, what's going to happen to their family back home? Do you know it's going to impact on them negatively? Of course, yes, it's going to impact on them, on their lives, in their lives. Because if you don't support your fellow brother and sister in what they are doing, you are indirectly affecting the economy of our country, of our continent back home, whatever country you may come from. Maybe you're from Nigeria, or you're from Ghana, or you're from, Ivory Coast, wherever you're from. In Africa, you are impacting, the lives of our people back home negatively. You don't need to go home and cause a problem at home in Africa before you know that you are causing a problem. Your action here in the UK, in America, wherever country we find ourselves, is impacting our people back home. For instance, the Asian person in the UK, if they are looking for a job and they have an Asian person in that particular job or in a similar job that they would love to do, they get the job just like this. But for you, a fellow African person, if you are in a job and you know that you have fellow African, maybe even in your church, looking for the similar job, what do? Do you want them to come or you don't want them to come? And there's two sides of the story anyway. Because some of you out there as well have been helped. You have been helped into jobs, helped financially. But what did you do in return? You pay people good for evil. And that really discouraged a lot of people. I met a lady some time ago who said to me, well, for me, I don't support Africans. And I wanted to know why she was not supporting Africans. And the truth she said to me, she said, my dear, it's a bitter truth, but I have to tell you this. She said she saw her mom supporting her siblings, and they turned against her mom. And her husband is supporting his family back home, and they are, attacking her husband with voodoo. I said, because of that, she's not going to support anyone that's from Africa. But I asked her a question. I said, but if you are in a panel and you have an interview, you have to, be in a panel of an interview, and the fellow African person was one of the employees, would you accept them if they come for the job? Will you accept them? He said, yes, if they meet up with the job, of course she will accept them. But what she cannot do is to go off her way to do any African person a favor, that she will never do it. That's the last thing she will do. And I'm asking myself in a minute, this lady now, she's speaking from her own parents' experience, the bad experience her parents and her husband had. And now she has made her mind up. She made up her mind not to support anyone. And you out there, you have someone who have supported you, but you have actually taken them for granted. So now it's two sides to the story. For some of you there, you will not support a fellow African because you do not want them to maybe step up above you or step up to you. And for some of you out there, you say you have supported and they actually turned your good for evil. So what is the way forward now? So the way forward, I believe, is for us to turn a new leaf and learn how to appreciate people when they are kind to you and give people kindness in return, instead of paying people bad for evil. Because you can see that lady, because of the experience, her mother have gone through what she saw in the life of her husband. She's made up her mind. She don't want to, want it to happen to her first before she make a decision. She's made up her mind, and she was telling me that's it. She can't stop from me, that she's made up her mind that she don't want that happening to her, because she's seeing it in her family and she have to learn from it. So for you out there, if you are in business and someone from Africa is patronizing you, what do you think that you have done so far that can chase them away? I had an experience, and if I actually wanted to make a call on this show, to call that same person who had worked on my car, who said he was going to order for a part, I should bring the car back, and now he's not picking my call anymore. But I've paid him for the job. And he did that last year. I was about going to another person to do that job. I said, let me give him a try again. And I went back this year. He's doing exactly the same thing. So how are we going to resolve this? How can we support ourselves? How can we patronize, our businesses, so we can be buying from each other, so we can be making money for ourselves, so that it will impact on our people back home? The Indians have done it, and it's working for them. Other nations have done it. It's working for them. We are just the one left out. We are not helping ourselves at all, guys. We need to change from it. If you go on YouTube, for example, you will see several videos talking about this. You go on my show, Keto Show, I've spoken about this in the past, but has anything changed? It hasn't changed much. I haven't seen that change. We need to learn how to love ourselves, because if you love yourselves, you are confident about yourself, you will not bother so much about supporting people and worrying about people's progress, because I think that's one of the major issues. When someone starts a company and they're asking you to come and patronize what they're doing, and you know you actually need that service, don't say you wouldn't patronize them. Don't say you wouldn't buy their services because they are fellow Nigerians or they are fellow Africans. You don't want them to progress because you are actually stabbing your own self. Guys, do you know that a tree cannot make a forest? A tree cannot make a forest. It doesn't matter how successful you are in your field. If you are just successful alone, you don't have other fellow Africans that are successful. When they are talking about African as a nation, will you still be called third world country? You tell me, with all your success, if you say you are from Africa, will you be reckoned as someone from a first world country or a third world country? You answer me. We are still third world country. It doesn't matter how sophisticated we dress. It doesn't matter how posh you might look. Maybe as I'm looking now, maybe I look posh. What do you think? I think I look posh now. Well, that's not the topic for today. So what I'm saying here, it doesn't matter how we try to change our accent, talk like a British or an American person, but you are still a Nigerian, you're still an African. You still know your roots. You're still going to go back to your root, whether you go there in person or not, but that is your root. So you must make sure, while you are in diaspora, that we support ourselves, that we show good examples, that when people from Africa come here to visit or to school or to come and live here, they will actually see something positive to talk about. They will say, good, there are people are really together. I was interviewed on BBC, some time ago, and I was asked a question when I called in. They were asking me, where would I love to live? Would I prefer to live in a community where I have my fellow Africans, or would I want a multicultural environment, community? I said I would prefer a multicultural community, and they were asking me why. And I said, because from experience, having to live around our people, among my people, they actually made my situation worse in a difficult situation that I was in. So, but are we going to continue like this? No, we cannot continue like this because it's not going to help you, neither is it going to help me. So what is the way forward now? So when you have someone who have a service that you genuinely know that is good and you need that service, don't deny them. Don't deny them. Don't stop patronizing their services. Don't stop buying their services because of this color. Because you think they are black and I'm black, so they can't be good enough. And also for us black people, for you to stand out in our businesses, in whatever we do, we must understand that customer service is key. It's key to anything that you do, either in business, in your job, how communication is key. We must learn it. Excellent customer service can never go wrong with it. It's always good you have excellent customer service, because for me, for example, there's an airline that I will never fly. Even if I'm asked to come and fly for free, I wouldn't go because of the poor customer service I've encountered. For you out there, I don't know, maybe customer service might not really mean anything to you, but for me, customer service is key. And for any growth, for the growth of any business, I believe customer service is something that's very important and should put as a priority. It doesn't matter how good your services are. It doesn't matter what you offer, the promotion you are offering. If you have poor customer service, someone like me will not come close. I wouldn't come and have it for free. So it is important. Don't say, oh, because it's a fellow black person, you will understand that a poor service is something we are used to. I'm not used to it. And I also believe there are people out there of the same color like you that don't appreciate it as well. So you must learn excellent customer service, how to deliver excellent customer service, because I know it's going to help us. In as much as we have been left behind for so long, for so many years, we can as well move forward and move faster. The fact that we've been left behind for decades doesn't mean it's going to take us a decade for us to get, move forward, or a century. No, it's not going to do that. If you start now to begin to respect yourself and respect others, not treating a fellow white person in a professional manner, and when you have a black person coming to you, you think, oh, because we are one, and you treat them, with less, importance, less interest, with less respect, just do things anyhow and think, oh, they will understand, we're just one, it's okay. They will think it's okay. It's not okay. Okay, because what that is doing is this. You are making people who would have been your customer, been a client to you, go to someone else to somebody else, whereas that money would have gone back to us, which is back to our country, okay? And our continent will be improving economically, and will be, seen as people from the first world country someday as well. Because if we continue like this, we're going to remain not just third world country, you might be moving to fourth world country and fifth world country. I'm not saying customer service in the UK is 100%, but at least if you are in this country, one thing we must learn is to deliver excellent customer service. I know by, multicultural, diversity, and all these immigrants coming into the UK, I know that some organizations even in the UK have poor customer service as well, which I have a list of. I know that it's not all, even the British people are now beginning to learn our poor customer service and begin to think it's normal to treat people in a less respectful way. They're beginning to actually mingle with us and learning the bad stuff that we've brought to them as well. In as much as they're learning from our good part as well, they're still learning the bad stuff, which is bad customer service. Yes, I'm African. Yes, you're saying what you're saying. Yes, I'm telling you this. As an African woman, I must tell you that we have poor customer service. I might have a good service because I've been trained, when I was working in organization like Virgin Atlantic, how important excellent customer service is. And I'll actually take that on board, and it's not part of me, and I extend it to whatever I do. But I must say that some of you out there don't really appreciate excellent customer service. You can go to a shop, if it's £1, if it's £20 versus £25, but because it's cheaper, you go there. But there are people who will pay more for excellent customer service, and I'm one of those people. It's not because I'm rich, but because I feel customer service is something that is key, and I appreciate it so much. I want to go on a flight where I'll be treated with respect, where I'll be happy when I board the flight until I disembark from that flight. So that's why there's an airline out there that I don't want to mention the airline today, but I will never fly them even for free because of the bad experience. Not one time, not two times. And I said, no, it's like it's a norm. And everybody tell you, because the flights are cheap, so that's why they treat people like that. I don't fly you because you're cheap then. Okay, if it's because you're cheap, you don't have respect, you don't know how to treat your customers, then it's not for me. So that's for another day. But what am I saying here? We in diaspora, we can make a change. We can start from somewhere. So I'll be going on a short break briefly. And when I return back, I'll be giving you some instances of how our poor customer service is really affecting us in diaspora, and the negative effects is impacting in our society back home in Africa. And I'll see you after the break. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Don't go away. Thank you. Hello, I'm back from short break, and I hope you enjoyed the discussion I had earlier before I went on break. And thank you for watching, and subscribe to the show. And if you want to be one of our sponsors, please get in touch. You see our contact details underneath the screen, and also subscribe to Kate O Show on YouTube for you to see me live here. Thank you, guys. So if you're watching me for the first time, I'm a motivational speaker. If you want me to speak and wow your event, get in touch. It's info@triumphinthemidstofadversity.com. Okay, and also I'm a life coach. If you're stuck in life, you're going through adversity and you do not know what to do, get in touch. I can help you because I know you can actually become who you want to be, even in your difficult situation. You do not have to wait until it is over. Okay, you can triumph indeed in your adversity. Great. So as I was saying earlier, us in diaspora, we need to learn how to support ourselves. We need to patronize one another. You need to help one another. You need to love what you're doing. And for you to actually love and appreciate others, it has to start from you. You need to first of all love and appreciate yourself. Appreciate who you are. Love yourself, guys. It's important because if you love yourself, you can love others. If you appreciate yourself, you appreciate others. Appreciate what others are doing. If you see someone that is doing something that is good, give thumbs up. It doesn't matter whether you're doing yours yet or not. It doesn't really matter. I was listening to this Miss Lee on YouTube, who is an African lady as well. Is it Greeny Lee or so? She said that she looked at her, fellow, colleagues who are white, and the support they are getting is awesome, that she wished she could get that support. when people complain in the Western world, like here in the UK, for example, some people just complain, some of African people, their problem is the white. They say, oh, racism, or because we are black. I say, listen, I don't really worry that much about racial discrimination now. I don't worry about my color. I worry about what we are doing to ourselves. I'm not worrying about the white man, because do you know the population? The population of the black people or Africans alone in the UK. Go and check it out yourself. So if just examine this, imagine this 1 minute, not examine, imagine this for 1 minute, guys, that every African person that is in the UK is actually patronizing the African business. What do you think is going to happen to you as an entrepreneur? And what do you think is going to happen to our people back home? They're going to smile. I'm telling you, you're going to be at the top. So what I'm saying here is this. The fact that you have not started your business yet is not an excuse for you not to support your fellow African person who is in business. Sometimes some of them come to you to get ideas from you. They're interested in what you're doing, and immediately they have an idea to start their own business, start the same thing that you're doing. They just lose interest in yours. It don't have to be like that. Maybe your business, it might be money transfer, or it might be, telecommunication or photography. Please don't scare Africans away from you with your attitude, with your poor customer service. And please, you, an African person, don't say you cannot employ an African person because they are not good enough because of this. Okay? We can't hate ourselves. We can't be kind to the white people and don't be kind to our own self. It's not good. I don't think it's going to take us anywhere, guys. We can only make a change if we can truly turn a new leaf by loving ourselves and loving our others out there. You love the white people already. We don't have to preach that you should love them, because what I've seen so far, we even love the white folks more than ourselves. Even in Africa, it's the same thing. And we brought that here as well. So one thing with Nigerians and Africans, which is very good, we are not racially discriminative. That is something that we are very positive in. We can welcome foreigners. We can accept people for who they are very easily. It's something that's very unique with us, which is great. But at the same time, you cannot love other people and hate your own self. You see, it's contradictory. It's contradictory. You see, we need to love other people and also love ourselves. We can't love other people and hate ourselves. You see people in organizations, they are fighting against each other. You go to an organization, you want to gain favor from your manager, is to pull down your fellow African person. What are you going to gain? Do you know they are laughing at us? They are laughing at us. When you go to that manager and say all those rubbish you have said against your own fellow African person that your manager thought you are brothers, what do you think is going to be thinking about us? He will say, look at these people. They are indeed from third world country. We're going to treat them like people from third world. You're putting yourself down. That's what you're doing. I heard about a lady. She said to me, my daughter, I watched your show, and you're right, that she was working in this organization, that a fellow Yoruba woman, just like herself, went behind her and said all sorts of things against her to her manager. And her manager called her and said, listen, did you actually do this? This is what your fellow sister said about you. And she said, no, I didn't. And when the lady was confronted, they said, look, come. The manager went to her and said, you said so person did this. This person is here, and she said she didn't do it. Do you know what happened? Oh, my goodness. The lady couldn't stand the shame. She left the organization. She made herself jobless. You see what I'm saying? So what am I saying here? Don't sell yourself, out. We should stop it. Love yourself. See a fellow African person with love, want them to succeed. If you see opportunity, something that will help your fellow African person, let them know, because the Indians, I always mention the Indians, I love the way you people are living among yourself. I must say that. The way you people support each other, help each other, I love it. And I wish we can do the same. And I know we can. We can definitely do the same. Because you know why? Because they see themselves as one. We need to see ourselves as one. Listen, guys, if you take a broomstick, guys, take one stick from a broom bunch, right? And break it. It's very easy to break. It will just go like that, isn't it? But if you hold a bunch and try to bend it, try to break it, you're going to make so much effort. And do you know what? You cannot even break all of them. Some will still be together. That is how we will be if we learn to love one another, if we learn to support one another. No one can come and break us easily. Do you see what is happening now in the social media? Our black kids are being humiliated in this country. They are being bullied. There's videos all over social media. Why can that happen to us? Because they know we are not together. If you are being bullied on the way, another black person will walk by. They won't do anything. Even your embassy might not even, raise an alarm, so they can do anything to us. But the day you stand firm and say, listen, we want to turn a new leaf, we want to love ourselves now. My fellow African brother is my brother. It doesn't matter what country he's from. We are all one. If I can love the white person, I can also love my African brothers. You will see the huge change. Everything will turn around for good. You will see that no person, no matter where they are from, even if they are coming from a war country, if they see an African person on the road, they will not touch you. Because why? Because they know war will be coming. If we touch one person, we have touched all of them. Someone said to me, do you see them go to other neighborhoods to do what they are doing among our black people? They can't do it. Why? Because they are together. We have to be together, guys. We need to quit jealousy. You need to quit envy. You need to quit tribal discrimination. You need to quit all this rubbish we're doing and stick together as one. If you want that change, which I believe in, that it can be possible, but it has to start from you and I. The change can be possible. And the effect will be manifesting not just in diaspora, but even back home in Africa. Because if you are doing so well here and you're being supported, you are growing, your brother is growing, the other person is growing, they will see the effect in our economy back home. Someone was saying to me that the people from India and some other country, they bought the whole of England. Why would they not buy it? Because they're working together. If your fellow Nigerian person come to work with you or work for you in your organization, it's not a time for you to use them and dump them, guys. There are people who are doing, job working for you in your stores. Don't humiliate them. I met a guy the other day at the Erie Library. He was telling me about his experience working for Nigerians as a student in the UK. I felt so bad about it. He said, Auntie, I wish everyone is like you. Every one of us is thinking like you. Do you know the mistake I made when I came to this country with the expertise I had? If I knew what I knew today, I won't be where I am today. I said, what happened? He said the biggest mistake he made was this, that he was working for all Nigerians. That every person he worked with was a Nigerian person. And what happened to him? That they used him and dumped him. He felt so bad about it. And now he said he cannot do anything with a fellow Nigerian again. That all they do is to use you and to dump you. Why are you taking advantage of people's situation, guys? You can help him. If you saw that guy as your fellow younger brother who went abroad to school and you gave him that support he needed, you pay him when he needed to be paid, he won't be saying the same thing that he said to me. He'll be saying, our people are kind. They've really supported him. That is what I want to hear, guys. I want to hear us supporting ourselves. I want to hear more positive feedback from our people. I saw a lady the other day, young girl. She had a baby. She wanted something, and I know she definitely wanted it. I took her contact, and I said to that guy, this lady, look at her. She have a young baby. Please consider her for this. Even though I wanted it as well. But I said, no, but she's priority because look at her situation. And she have just one day to make this happen. The lady said, a lady called me and I said, I didn't know who that lady was. She said, oh, I'm a mother to this lady that you helped. You see what I'm saying? She said she was telling her mom that I don't know people like this still exist. That this woman took interest in me, she was helping me, and she helped me to resolve my problem without me knowing her before. And the mother was calling me to say thank you. I said, thank you. It might not cost anything, but it's very important you know how to say thank you. When you need to say thank you, say thank you. When it's time to say please, it will go a long way. But for me, I've actually gotten to the stage now, I don't even expect thank you, because if I see it, it's a plus. I still go ahead to do good, to help you if I can help you without hearing thank you, because I know thank you is the hardest thing for some of our people to say to you. So now I've learned that and I don't even expect it. So when I get one, just like that lady I'm just talking to you about now, it's like, oh, so we can see say there's a plus. You see, I appreciated it so much because I don't always get that. But if you can do good, do good. Don't even expect a thank you. If you get it, let it be a plus. And from there, we can move forward. I want to say thank you so much for watching. And if you are there, an African in diaspora, please take this seriously, because your action will be impacting on not just in our lives in diaspora, but even back in Africa. And thank you so much. And I'll see you same time, same place next week. And bye-bye for now. Thank you. And to subscribe to Keto Show on YouTube. See you. Bye. And I love you as always. Bye-bye.